This is going to be a video on running the AMI003r1 programmer. We have a setup here that shows that we have the J-Link from Sager. This programs the LPC 4330, and the Allwinner here, the V3S, is programmed through its USB hub. So the first thing we're going to do is make sure that the power supply is set at 3 volts and either between 1 and 2 amps of maximum current, and make sure it is powered off. On this particular one, it shows the maximum power when it's off, and it shows the current draw when it's on, so it's off. The first thing we're going to do is plug in the LPC programmer. So you take these flexes. These are readily available off DigiKey. I plug it in. This is easiest by hand. You want to make sure you don't damage these. Sometimes if you start folding them, you'll see the actual traces in here get damaged, so make sure that is still good, or you could have problems. We plug that in there. It goes in snug until you feel it hit the bottom. You can see about how much left of the blue tape is shown. Then we're going to mate the breakout board to the big 80-pin DF40 Hiroshi connector. I've done this enough times so it feels pretty comfortable, but the first few times you may want to watch it very close and get it on there, and when you press it down you feel it click nice and snug. So that is all set up. Next, we'll turn the power on. We should see about 240 milliamps at the 3 volts for a completely empty, unprogrammed board. Next, we'll go over here to the laptop where we already have our windows open. I like to run the dmessage-w on here, and what you will see on that when you power it off and on, we'll do it again real quickly, is the USB network device will pop up in there. And so what that is a live system log. So if I power down over at the power supply, you see it go away, USB disconnect. When I power back on, that means that the USB port is alive and we're good to go. Next, this window is what I've been using for the program window. It's left over from the last one. You see the done there. So I close that. On the desktop, there'll be this icon, AMI003 programming. It actually just calls this programming script here. But we double click that. The password for this computer is 3 lowercase p's, so P, enter, and it'll start. It says initializing, and it's off and running. While that's going, because this should take about 2.5 minutes, we'll go and program the LPC 4330. You can see in here we're in test LPC 4330, and you press the up button in Linux. Up button is here, and it'll bring up the latest commands. And the last one is program ccore J31sh, which is another script file. You let that run, and you can see how fast that guy's programmed. At the end of it, you see verified successful and script processing complete. That's what's important. In the meantime, what you saw in the dmessage scroll by was it switched from its default USB device to now a virtual Ethernet connection. You see renamed ETH0. It's short for Ethernet 0. And you also see over here in the status window it says programming eMMC. So this is what takes a little bit. Over on the power supply, you see it cycling between about 300 milliamps and 360 milliamps as it's reading and writing and checking and validating the MMC. Coming back here, so we'll just use this video to check our timer. Now the done light came up. I believe there were some other messages in there we missed. We'll come back and check those. And it's done. So to disconnect, the first thing we're going to do is power down. Back on here you'll see CDC Ethernet device disconnected. One more thing we'll do just to check here, but is go back, you power it back up. And now we should see, this is not, you don't have to do this all the time. This is just a sanity check to make sure that the device comes up. And what you see is USB mass storage device, so all these messages mean that now if you were to open a folder, you'll see the Echo 3 folder come up and you know that the device is good. Make sure that you eject on all Linux systems. It's best to unmount. And then we'll go back over here and power down and disconnect the system. Lift it up off the board, pull that out, and put this in the good tray. Now we're all done. Thank you.